6:15. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Lakshman Fonseca and read by J. Yogaraj. First the headlines. The President assures to provide deeds of the lands for the resettlement in the Vavuniya district. Several roads in Colombo will be closed for traffic once again tonight. Irrigation Department says the water levels in the upper areas of the Kalani and Kaluganga reached caution levels. The Ceylon Electricity Board has recorded over 61,000 electricity breakdown complaints. Education Ministry says advanced level classes to begin on June 4th to ensure no school dropouts. News overseas, Conservatives plan to bring back mandatory national service. And those are the headlines. President Ranil Wickremesinghe assures to provide deeds of the lands for the resettlement in the Vavuniya district. He said the intention of the government is to provide deeds of the lands for general public without any demand, legal backing or revolution. Addressing a gathering at a Urimaya function held at Pudukkudiyiruppu Mahavidyalaya today, the President said under the program the government would provide 2 million land deeds for the general public. He added even though many people belonging to all three nations or communities contribute immensely to promote agriculture, they don't have own land, and the government is now addressing to meet the issue. Police say several roads in Colombo will be closed for traffic once again tonight in order to avoid the repetition of the incidents during the last couple of days due to the current inclement weather conditions. Police media spokesman DIG Nihal Taldua said that Braybrook Place, Malalasekara Road in Borella to Tummulla Junction, Bauda Lokamawata, and stretches of the road from Dr. Lester James Peary's Mawata to Rotunda Junction in Colombo 3 will remain closed for traffic tonight. Meanwhile, the police advise visitors to the Vesak zones in Colombo to park their vehicles in the safe location and proceed on foot. The police decided to close multiple roads in Colombo city last night as a result of the several incidents of tree falling, damages to vehicles and disruptions to traffic movement had been reported in Colombo during the last few days owing to the prevailing inclement weather conditions. Meanwhile, the Road Development Authority has informed motorists using the expressways to maintain at least a 50-meter distance between vehicles while driving, owing to the adverse weather conditions prevailing across the country. The authority says it has taken steps to display the warnings on electronic display boards and urges the motorists to strictly follow the instructions. This news comes to you from Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The water levels of the upper areas of Kalani and Kaluganga have reached caution level due to the high rainfall in the catchment areas of these rivers. Director of the Irrigation Department, SPC Sugishwara said that water levels in these rivers have reached caution levels for the first time soon after the northeast monsoon started. He instructed for those living along the upper areas of the Kalani and Kaluganga closer to the Ratnapura district to be vigilant of sudden floods. There are possibilities of sudden floods in these areas if rains continue for 100 millimeters. However, due to heavy rains in the Sabarakamu and western provinces and in Galle and Mathura districts in the southern province and in certain areas in the northwestern province, the water levels in these areas prevail at high level, he added. The Ceylon Electricity Board has recorded over 61,000 electricity breakdown complaints by 2 p.m. today. They said the complaints were received following power outages for over 467,500 consumers during the last 6 days during the period between May 21st to 26th. The CEB said more than 26,700 breakdowns have been rectified and power supply has been restored for about 425,500 consumers as of 2 p.m. today. They added that the CEB management and service staff are working round the clock to restore power to all affected consumers. The Education Ministry has detailed guidelines on implementing the proposals to admit students to the GCE advanced level classes before the release of the recently concluded ordinary level examination results. The Ministry has explained that the objective of the scheme is to minimize the dropouts of the students between receiving advanced level classes after completing the ordinary level classes. The circular noted that they have noticed a tendency of students dropping out in the absence of education options. The ministry has emphasized that the entry into advanced level classes will be on a temporary basis and the stream of education could be adjusted. According to ministry instructions, the authorities should take measures to accommodate students to cluster schools in the event of the relevant stream, such as science or technology section classes are not available in the existing school of the student. The ministry said students should not be required to follow the uniform of a new school in the event of a change and also should not be required to pay school fees. And that's local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala Mahatmya.
President Ranil Wickremesinghe says the Vavuniya Hospital will be converted into a teaching hospital. He said it will be installed to facilitate for the medical students at the new medical faculty which will be started in Vavuniya University. The President made these remarks at a ceremony to commemorate the opening of the Medical Rehabilitation Treatment and Mental Development Center at Mankulam Base Hospital. The President also said that his aim is to develop the North into a province with high-quality health services similar to the Western province. He also pointed out that 4 medical units have been opened in the Northern province in the last 2 years alone.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala Mahatmya.
Moving on to Watchlight, the Customs Department says the department has received multiple complaints regarding a scam that promises to offer positions within the department. Customs spokesman Sivali Argoda said that this scheme is being executed targeting exam candidates of the state sector. He added that there is no such way of joining the customs and that only those who obtain highest marks in the competitive exam will only be recruited to the department. And that came to you in Watchlight.
Coming up, World News.
World News headlines. First, the Conservatives' plans to bring back mandatory national service. A key border crossing between Pakistan and Afghanistan reopened. US media outlets report AI search feature created by Google has given inaccurate answers. And those are the headlines of the World News. The Conservative Party has said it would bring back mandatory national service if it wins the general election. It said 18-year-olds would have a choice of either joining the military full-time or volunteering 1 weekend every month carrying out a community service. The party is proposing a royal commission to consider the details but would plan for the first teenagers to take part in September 2025. Under the plans, young people could choose a full-time 12-month placement in the armed forces or UK cyber defense. A key border crossing between Pakistan and Afghanistan that remained closed for a week following attacks has been reopened, an official said on Saturday. Haji Rauf, a member of the Jirga or tribal assembly that helped broker a ceasefire between the two sides, told Anadolu over phone that the Karlachi crossing reopened for normal trade activities. On Friday morning, some 100 to 150 cargo trucks entered Pakistan and Afghanistan daily through the crossing that connects Pakistan's northwestern Kunnar tribal district with Afghanistan's eastern Paktia province. A new generative artificial intelligence search feature created by Google is said to have given inaccurate answers to questions. According to some US media outlets, AI Overview was rolled out on May 14th in the United States. It gives answers to sentence-based questions. The New York Times reported that it instructed some users to mix non-toxic glue into their pizza sauce when asked how to prevent the cheese from sliding off. And that's World News. Development News. Steps have been taken to allocate 12,000 million rupees for the fertilizer subsidy for tea cultivation. The Minister of Agriculture and Plantation Industry, Ms. Mahinda Amaravira, made these remarks at a fresh tea festival, an annual ritual held in collaboration with the Sri Lanka Tea Board and private tea manufacturers. Was held recently at the historic Getabaru Rajamaha Viharya in Kotapala. He said that due to the economic crisis, the COVID-19 epidemic situation and the fertilizer crisis, the application of the fertilizers for tea cultivation were reduced and a significant decrease in the tea harvest was reported in the past 3 years. And that came to you in development news.
Moving on with sports news.
Sri Lanka's para-athletes won 2 medals, silver and bronze, at the 2024 World Para-Athletics Championship held in Kobe, Japan. The event concluded yesterday with 5 athletes from Sri Lanka competing for honours. Sprinter Indika Gamage secured a bronze medal in the T44 100 metres final held on Monday the 20th, clocking a time of 11.83 seconds. Gamage qualified for the final after winning Heat 1 with an impressive time of 11.75 seconds. And that came to you in sports news.
Go ekak thiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු ගීන හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all new NSB Ithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Business news sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Siet Kalani Holdings has extended the company's road safety program for school children to its 15th year with the donation of road safety kits to 10 more schools. Siet Kalani Holdings said each of the beneficiary schools received 7 road safety signboards, 10 traffic cones, 10 traffic warden jackets and 300 booklets on road safety awareness for school children. The program, named Magayana Maga, is one of the community initiatives run by Siet Cares program of the community projects. That was business news.
Business news sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak thiyana youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න ඇස් වහගෙන දැකපු ගීන හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all new NSB Ithru account, NSB IM, a plan for your dream.
Moving on to economic news, Sri Lanka's tourism stakeholders are urging the government to strongly consider a visa-free waiver by issuing free visas to promote tourism. The Sri Lanka Tourism Development Authority, SLTDA, has carried out research into this risk aspect and stated that the target of achieving 5 million tourist arrivals by 2030 could be gained by leveraging visa-fee waivers as a facilitator. It notes that by waiving visa fees for tourists, Sri Lanka can enhance its attractiveness as a destination, thereby potentially increasing tourist arrivals. And that came to you in economic news. Weather report. The Met Department says it has received an advisory for strong winds and rough seas for naval and fishermen communities in the deep sea areas in the southeastern Arabian Sea and in the Bay of Bengal. Accordingly, very strong winds, 60 to 70 kilometers per hour, accompanied with heavy rainfalls, and very rough seas are likely over the sea areas around the country and over the southeastern Arabian Sea areas and Bay of Bengal Sea areas, it added. The naval and fishing communities are advised not to venture into the sea areas marked by red color on the map until further notice. Naval and fishing communities are also requested to be attentive to future forecasts issued by the Department of Meteorology in this regard. And that was with the report. And to wind up this news podcast, let's get the main points once again. The President assures to provide deeds of the lands for the resettlement in the Vavuniya district. Several roads in Colombo will be closed for traffic once again tonight. Irrigation Department says the water levels in the hub areas of the Kelani and Kaluganga reached caution levels. The Ceylon Electricity Board has recorded over 61,000 electricity breakdown complaints so far. Education Ministry says advanced level classes to begin on June 4th to ensure no school dropouts. News overseas, Conservatives plan to bring back mandatory national service. And with that, we conclude this evening news podcast of Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. It's back to Dilshan Dimal to keep you company with the rest of the programs this Sunday evening.